Buzz Aldrin, bonjour.
Bonjour.
There we go. I love that, you know. It's called Magnificent Desolation.
Yeah.
And it strikes me.
I just have a way of maybe trying to draw attention to something the way a comic does, is taking a normal situation and throwing in an absurdity and then treat it as if nothing happened. And it causes the audience to pay attention. Putting people in rockets and then going to the moon and landing on the moon. And now here we are walking, and what do we see? The most desolate scene you could ever imagine.
You're the only astronaut who walked on the moon who goes out and is completely open.
It's because when I was leaving a structured space life with NASA and then a military life, and I'm dealing with depression, wondering what I should be doing, and alcoholism that has been sort of in my family. So I've just learned to talk about my experiences, write different books, science fiction story, then another science fiction story. One of the best things I ever did was to write about a future situation involving star travel. Understand what we do if there is another species somewhere and these two species encounter each other.
It's amazing. When I listen to you, I feel like watching a movie of science fiction. But see, in the word science fiction, there is science and there is fiction.
Yeah, and I wrote science fiction, but I didn't like the word. I liked technology projection.
Nice.
Backward in time or forward in time. But nobody's going to change the name of sci-fi or science fiction. So I had to write a science fiction story. But it was reality as best me and the experts could put together for how to travel to another star. Or, as it turned out, how inhabitants from another star traveled here 9,000 years ago and failed in their attempts to associate with the primitive Earthlings. It's a wonderful story.
In your opinion, you're a movie buff. I know, we've seen you on premiere, you know. Your, I would say, best science fiction movie?
The one that hasn't been made yet, that's called Encounter with Tiber.
A biopic about Buzz Aldrin. We have the book right here.
Yeah.
When is the movie?
Well, that is going to happen, I'm sure. But I'm not going to wave the flag for that. I'm going to coolly look at what the options are.
Hey, good to see you. Yes. I didn't know you were a biker, sir.
Of course.
Allez, on retrouve Buzz Aldrin, un des rares hommes sur Terre qui peut se permettre de dire « Oui, on a marché sur la Lune ». Buzz Aldrin, qui a même un astéroïde à son nom. Alors justement, qu'est-ce qu'on peut poser comme autre question à cet astronaute qui a tout vu, tout expérimenté et tout essayé? On a eu une idée, c'est de vous faire interagir avec Buzz Aldrin. C'est donc vous qui avez posé vos questions sur notre page Facebook. A kid wrote, "Is the moon really like we think, like we're kids? It's like a cheese."
Well, it used to be, I guess, Swiss cheese and then maybe French cheese, but it's American cheese now until somebody else gets there first. But it's a very dusty place, and the dust is just not a very friendly dust. It's very sharp, but it forms beautiful boot prints.
Another question from Facebook. Were you sad to leave the moon and go back to Earth?
No. I felt that clearly in reviewing, and this is my opinion, and it's a technical opinion, that enables the future. And once you land, you can do it again and again in more interesting places, and then you can go to much lighter gravity of an asteroid, and you can land and prepare and journey around it much easier than you could the moon. But the most important thing is the moon of Mars, and that'll teach us how we can then enter the atmosphere, which is much more difficult, of Mars and begin to make a landing.
Another one from Facebook, and this one is funny. It's like, what did Buzz think when they invented the moonwalk?
Well, I don't know why somebody wants to walk backwards. We have a hard time turning around to seeing where we're going. I do that in airports when I'm rolling my bags because I got to look back and see where my wife is. She's behind me.
We'll see who's faster on the BlackBerry.
No, I'm not too fast. But I got 34 emails I haven't read yet and 2 messages.
Let's see, I have 3 messages, 5 Facebook. On parlera encore de l'espace la semaine prochaine avec d'autres invités prestigieux, avec d'autres petits métiers du cinéma qui se rapportent à la science-fiction. Et bien sûr, comme toujours, l'actualité hollywoodienne à chaud. Depuis Los Angeles, c'était Hollywood Live. Ciao.